Hey, Critical Analysis, this is your video for post-test 2 in the purpose and tone. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. This is maybe if you wanted additional practice or just kind of explanation. I'll do about the first 6 with you, and then you can do the last 4 on your own. Questions 1 and 2 are based on the same selection, so let's look at that one. The best way to understand cellular telephony is to equate it to all we have learned so far about the wireline telephone network. Cellular telephones use DTMF dialing. Voice frequencies are the source of the signal. The network uses T1 circuits as trunks, fiber optic cable, and multiplexers in their networks, and digital switches to switch calls. The difference between the two networks is that the cellular network uses the airways to carry information the last mile to the customer. In addition, the customer is mobile, no longer tied to one location. The cellular network must transmit information through the airways and follow the user around the globe. Other than these two differences, the cellular network is very similar to the landline telephone network. Okay, hopefully, as I was reading that, you could tell that the tone of this is very neutral and factual. There was no kind of entertainment value to that. There was no critical aspect to it. It was just giving us facts. So because that was very factual in tone, the purpose then is often really aligned with that, was to give us information. It wasn't, again, trying to entertain or persuade us. Okay, questions 3 and 4 are based on the same selection. Cell phones are having an adverse effect on the public space. So pay attention. Right away, it's saying cell phones are bad. The advent of cell phone technology clearly has offered the world many benefits. However, one of the consequences of this new technology is that people have become increasingly rude and thoughtless when in public. This is evidenced in the constant ringing in classrooms and loud conversations about mundane topics in shopping malls. Public space is no longer sacred. People even answer the phone in the library and movie theaters, spaces that used to be considered quiet zones. We must consider regulating the use of cell phones in public spaces so that those who abuse the privilege of owning a cell phone do not infringe on the rights of others. So right away, this person is saying, cell phones are making people rude and it's just kind of a nuisance in a way. So if you look at the tone, this person is very pessimistic about cell phones, not a fan in this case here. So what is the purpose then? If they are being critical and pessimistic, the purpose is probably to, out of these choices, persuade us to maybe mind our manners, so to speak, when we're using cell phones, and just be aware of that. All right, questions 5 and 6, again, same, and you can see there's a theme here, definitely, with all these phones. Same selections for 5 and 6. Before you choose a cell phone plan, consider the following tips. Okay, so it's going to give us some tips. Consider the amount of minutes offered in the plan. Try to estimate how many minutes you will talk on your cell phone in a given month. Will you also have a landline, or will your cell phone be your primary phone? Answering this question will help you decide how many minutes you will need each month. Consider cancellation fees. Some companies charge hundreds of dollars if you cancel your plan. If you are new to a service provider or think you might need to cancel before the contract, look for plans with no or low cancellation fees. Consider the amount of coverage. Coverage is the geographical area with which a cell phone can be used to make and receive calls. Make sure your service provider covers the areas where you will be using your phone. Some providers charge high fees for using your phone out of covered areas. All right. So to me, again, this was very just consider these things. So I didn't see any kind of attitude or bias or anything like that. So to me, this is very neutral and straightforward. It's just giving us tips. And so the purpose then to me is to kind of instruct us like, hey, do these things before you get a cell phone plan. All right, so for additional practice, go ahead and read questions 7 and 8, which are the same selection, and then 9 and 10, which are the same selection, and submit those. All right, until next time.